Welcome to Off the Cut episode 120 for Tuesday, June 18th, 2024. And as always, we do want to remind you that the worst podcast available on Apple and Spotify is still the Green Suiters podcast. But the best place to buy woodworking tools is...
still KM Tools. Do you see how I enunciated? I didn't just mash it all together and call it KM Tools again.
KM Tools.
KM Tool. You know why it's called KM Tools?
I don't.
Because the owner, Jonathan Katz Moses, I guess abbreviated his last name and then used it to KM. Yeah.
What if it isn't based off his last name? What if it
that's true? That's yeah.
Killer Mike Tools.
Killer Machine Tools. Killing machines.
Or
I don't know why I'm going to killing. Deric went to killing too, though, so I don't feel too bad.
It has some deep, dark, like a family secret, something he's never told anyone.
Yeah. I think maybe it stands for Knuckle Maniac.
Knuckle Maniac. I could see that.
Kelvin and Metric.
Yeah. That's definitely possible. But
Joe says Kangaroo Monkey. I like that tool.
I mean, these are all very valid possibilities. But
that's true.
The one thing we know
knife
for sure,
maker.
Well, we'll get to that. One thing we do know for sure is that KM Tools, everything on kmtools.com, is either designed by Jonathan and his team or is thoroughly tested, because if it's in their shop, it's in their shop, right, Zach?
Yes. Nice. Nailed it.
It's not their slogan, but it should be. But the newest, well, I guess we should say, and the coolest thing is a portion of their proceeds go directly towards the Katz Moses Woodworkers with Disabilities Fund, which gets the tools and resources into the hands of folks who need it most. But what's super exciting, Deric,
new tool.
Did you see it, Zach?
Yeah. I saw it. I saw the promo video. I was like, damn, that is a slick-ass promo video.
That is awesome.
So for anyone who hasn't seen it, it's called the Bourbon Blade.
Yeah, good name too.
And what this is, it's dope. It's basically a nice, like, what it would 3/4 inch, 1 inch chisel, something like that.
Yeah, 3/4 probably.
Yeah, it looks like about 3/4 inch chisel.
Yeah, 15/16.
Thank you. I don't have the stats in front of it, but if you want all the exact stats, you can go to kmtools.com. It's basically a chisel that's also a knife on the side that folds like a pocket knife.
Yeah. Imagine a folding knife, but when you fold it out, it's a double-sided blade. So it's like two of the edges have blades. Okay. Never mind. I'm doing a bad job explaining this.
But not the parallel edges. It's like the top and the...
Yeah. The two adjacent, they're at a right angle to each other.
It's not a geometry major here. So.
Yes, definitely not.
But it's nice. And it is
very nice.
Well, they partnered with I'm not a big knife guy, but I'm assuming the guy that they partner with is well known in the knife world, right?
Yeah.
And it's a 1 inch blade.
It's a 1 inch
blade. Okay. Damn, I so sure it was 15/16.
And Jonathan's a huge knife guy. I know Jace Hibbs Bourbon Moth is a knife guy as well. So they partnered together with a professional knife maker, and I guess it took them 2-3 years or something to get this whole idea going.
Yeah,
and it's out now. It's sweet. I don't have one.
It's a beautiful knife.
It's it looks like a serious piece of military hardware.
Right.
It's cool looking.
And he was talking about how you can actually use it as a chisel too. You can beat on the back of it.
Well, that's the thing. We saw it at work. Well, I don't know if we should say this, but we saw it at Workbench Con.
Okay, yeah. I was I thought we saw it,
out now.
But
I saw some early prototypes at Workbench, and they were really hammering down the point that they worked really hard to make sure that it actually works as a chisel too. It's not just a knife that looks like a chisel. It literally is a chisel.
And by the way, we should tell people that we have... Actually, hold on. I was going to say that's the end of our ad read, and this is genuinely just us being excited about
the ad read ended 5 minutes ago.
Let's finish the ad read.
Right. So anyway, if you want to get a $50 gift card to KM Tools that we do every single month, all you have to do is sign up to be a patron, and you're automatically entered to win. You don't have to do anything. Back to what we were talking about. So that knife, like you can legitimately use it as a chisel. Not that any of us use chisels, but
Yeah, well, theoretically. Well, yeah, I mean, you could also use this to scrape glue off of your gloves.
I saw that was part of the thing. They're like, you can
Or eat sushi.
Glue. You can eat sushi. You can open up cans of paint with it.
That's right.
I mean, but like, that's genius marketing because that's exactly who they're like,
True.
I do with chisels.
Are you guys knife guys? Do you do the everyday carry thing where you walk around with a little knife?
I usually do.
Yeah.
Okay. Zach, what's your answer?
No. I don't.
Me neither. And so this is not me like judging or I think you're stupid if you don't have one.
Yeah.
I never have. So I genuinely want to hear your thoughts on it, Deric. Like you don't need to sell me on it. Just tell me.
No. I didn't either for the longest time. Well, as a child, I was given one by my grandfather. I think most of us had a grandfather that gave us a pocket knife at some point in our life.
That is that's a sick
pretty
grandpa
common
move.
theme.
Yeah.
So I had one that as a young boy, probably too young, like as far back as I can remember. And that one I used as a kid for like, glue scraping type tasks, just like garbage knife. And then as I got older, it just kind of faded away and I never had one that I carried around until I became a parent. And then the first Christmas that my daughter was opening presents, there were all these things in plastic packaging that I could not get open. And I was like, you know what I need? I need a knife. Because her birthday and Christmas are pretty close to each other. So they hit back to back. And I was like, I need to start carrying a knife because there was other things that were coming up. And so I just got like a little like wood handled flip out knife and I just put it in my pocket. And that's exactly what I use it for. I just open up things with it or, whatever happens to come up. And so ever since then, I've carried the same one on me.
So in a week, how many times do you think you take it out of your pocket and use it and go
daily?
So at least once a day.
Oh yeah. I think once you have one and you start using it, you start finding how ubiquitous it becomes. Like opening letters, scraping things, it gets used all the time.
It is pretty nice to open a letter with a knife. That does feel like a badass power move.
You got that clean, crisp edge to it. Yeah.
I would say that I spend at least 30 seconds every other day looking for a knife. Because some package has come, or, I need to like get a little bit of glue off of something, or I need to cut a seal on something.
These are my designated package opening scissors. And I don't know if it'll come through, but they're just covered with like glue, adhesive, and tape from packaging, right? And every time I'm like, damn it, where did these scissors go? And it's made me think about it. But then so typically like right now, like I wasn't going anywhere today. I knew that I was, going to go to the gym and then go to the park afterwards since it's nice out. So I'm like, I'm just going to put on gym shorts. Like there's no reason to put on, jeans and then change into gym shorts later. So like if I'm wearing gym shorts, do I still put the knife in my pocket?
No, I don't carry it then. I only carry it if I'm wearing like jeans or short, like cargo shorts or something like that. In fact, my wife has to remind me if we're going to the airport to leave it at home.
Yeah, you got to take it out.
Brought it in a couple times and had to run back out to the car and drop it back off in the car.
What's the deal with getting on a plane? How big a knife can you take on the plane? Or is there no size that's acceptable?
Well, you can't take anything sharp on a plane that I've found. Okay. Even like tweezers and stuff like that. They sometimes
nail clippers will take.
Yeah, nail clippers.
Really?
But I think if you check it in a carry-on, you can have up to like a 3-inch blade or something like that.
Okay.
No, if you check bag, you can have a knife. Carry-on, you can't. Right?
Yeah. That's what I'm. Yeah. Did I say carry-on? I meant check bag. Yeah.
I knew. Yeah, you said carry-on by accident.
Sorry. Yeah.
Deric, do you take care of that knife? Like, do you sharpen it regularly and keep it in good now? Okay.
No.
Interesting.
No, it's just for every once in a while I'll run it over a stone or a honing blade to straighten it out a little bit. But it does. It's been 16 years, so it's at the end of its life. I'm starting to look for another one now because it's showing its wear. I know. This is perfect.
Yeah,
I was literally thinking about it, and this came up, and I was like, "Oh my god, they're reading my mind."
When I saw this come out, I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm going to be a knife guy now. Maybe I'm just going to grab one of these and carry it around. Because not only is it a knife, it's handy, but, you might need a chisel from time to time.
Absolutely.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, I'm getting influenced.
Yeah, exactly, right? Damn, promo video got me.
Oh, it was a dope promo video.
Yeah.
Jonathan's guy, Mark, is Mark the guy that helps him film?
I think so. Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay. He did a killer job.
He did a killer job. Do you guys carry it? Well, I guess, Eric, I already know the answer to this. Well, what about, what's your position on, like, Leatherman or multi-tools? Derek, do you walk around with one of those too?
I don't walk around with one, but I do keep one in my truck just for, like, if I need a pair of pliers or something like that.
I bought a really nice one, like an actual genuine Leatherman one for like a camping trip or something like that. And I was like, this is going to be sick. I'll use it for stringing up line, for, shaving off woodlings to start a fire or whatever. It sucks, man. It's you can't do anything with one of those little Leathermen.
I've never
Every
bought
tool is
one.
just
They're
the
all
worst.
gifts.
Yeah,
They've all been gifts, and I just throw them in the truck, or I have one out in the garage in the top drawer. But I've never actually used one except for the pliers. I use the pliers.
Yeah, like the pliers are maybe kind of handy, but everything else on it's just. Ever try and use the screwdriver on one of them? It's like a little Phillips head. It's the worst.
I guess the corkscrew. The corkscrews lines up just right because it comes off the middle.
Yeah, true.
Honestly, it's probably not a terrible idea to have one in the truck, though, because I mean, like,
that's not a bad idea.
How often are you like, damn? I'm not like, doing someone's deck, but like you're at somewhere and you're like, somebody's like, hey, you got pliers or like you got a screwdriver? Yeah. You're like, yeah, I mean, you're not gonna be working 8 hours with this thing, but if you need to like extract one screw or like something, you could make
it's like
it
a pair of jumper cables. If you're not going to use it every time you go out, but it's nice to have when you need it.
Yeah,
it's true.
I have to say, I've noticed since we all have trucks because I just got mine 6 months ago or something like that.
I'm truckless right now. How dare you?
Wait, we gotta get back. We gotta go back to that. That's a whole conversation.
I thought I told you guys about that. Did I not give you the update on it? Yeah.
No, was I gone? Was there an update? Deric, do you know the update?
I don't know the update.
Okay, well, hold on.
Okay.
I've noticed since that we all had trucks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, being able to lift that back seat up and have that little like cubby underneath the seat. I keep all kinds of stuff in my car now because it's hidden and like it doesn't like clutter up your car.
It's not just rolling around in the trunk.
Right. And so like I have like some work gloves. I always have like a couple bottles of water. I have like that's my ratchet straps. I have like like a knife. I have a couple screwdrivers. I have like pliers and like just like a bunch of like miscellaneous stuff. And it's so nice. And after seeing that, it made me realize that I also had two little like pocket knives in there. So it's like a little one. Oh, yeah. One of these little like, flip out guys or whatever. And it made me think like, I wonder if this would be something that, I mean, this one's super heavy and bulky. He doesn't even have a clip.
Oh, yeah. Is that an old timer?
It says it's Uncle Henry.
Uncle Henry.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure this is some like Amazon crap. It comes in a sick leather pouch though. But
it looks like worn though. That knife looks like it predates Amazon.
Yeah, I mean this has probably seen the Civil War if I had to.
Yeah. That was the knife that killed Hitler. I don't know where
this was the knife
from.
that assassinated JFK.
Yeah. It's the magic knife.
Yeah. It made me wonder like, maybe I should give it a whirle. But
yeah. Be a knife guy, dude.
I don't know. I feel like there's certain kinds of guys that carry a knife. And here's what I mean by that. What sort of guy do you think about who like describe to me the guy who carries a knife around?
I think there's a few categories, I think. Because there's definitely like the mil spec guy. You know what I mean? Like the
Sure, yeah.
he might also
he might be people who carry knives.
Yeah. There's a good chance he's probably stealing valor as he's carrying his knife around. And then there's a kind of dorky kind of guy. Like a lot of like some of my good friends are like everyday carry guys. It's like an extension of tech almost. I don't know what it is. Okay. I guess it's like what Deric is saying. It's the being well prepared. It's like I have my kit. This is like my kit, and it's very well thought out, and it's something that I'm proud of. It's kind of like it's a like a hobby unto itself, is creating the perfect kit and then carrying it around with you.
I'm reminded.
Who's obsessed with like having like wallets and like swap out the different wallets to try to find the perfect minimalist wallet, like that kind of.
Yes, exactly.
Tech, but it's kind of tech.
Yeah.
You equate it to tech and an everyday carry thing, and I'm reminded. There was a time whenever I didn't carry a knife, but there was a time whenever I did carry a Zippo. I don't smoke,
right?
But I always carried a Zippo on me because whenever you're 20 and you're hanging out and a girl needs a light, you want to be the guy with the Zippo.
You want to be the first guy. Yeah, true.
I remember those being hot when I was in 5th or 6th grade. So that would have been in like 2003, 2004. Something like that. So that seems about right.
About the same time, yeah.
I'm trying to. They were big when I was like maybe 14 or 15, which I think kind of lines up with the timeline you're talking about. I remember it was a big skater thing at my school. All the skaters would carry around Zippos. And some of them had like custom engraved ones, and there was like tricks you could do where you'd open them in weird ways.
Flip it.
Yeah. Do they still make them?
Probably. Yeah. Let's find out.
Do they have a Bluetooth Zippo now?
So you would just like hang on to it and just like try to be cool because like So basically what you're saying is there's a subcategory of people who carry knives that just think it's cool. Like they're like I have no reason for it.
That's the guy that's going to pull it out at the bar and use it to open something or do something. And then get kicked out.
100%. Oh yeah, like also I feel like the bottle opener guy. You know the guys who will have a bottle opener in their belt buckle or something like that. Like, don't worry, I'll handle that for you. And they take your bottle and crack it open on their groin. It's like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah, you're like, you can keep it.
You know what? I'm on the Zippo website right now, and they have very smartly gotten into the world of everyday carry. They're also selling multi-tools, axes, little match kits and stuff.
Who the hell is using an axe every day?
The Flamescape?
Yeah.
Like, what? I don't get it.
Yeah, the axe one.
The axe is also a saw from the looks of it. It's like a hacksaw, too. 42.
So, I've got one of my buddies who carries a knife pretty much every day. But he also hunts all the damn time. So, like, dude, like, I get it. Like, you use this knife, like, all the damn time. And then I've got another buddy who just collects shit. Like...
collector guy? Yeah, that's another...
Just gets obsessed with things and collects it.
Yeah.
Does he use these? No.
Yeah. It's like me and video game consoles.
Right. Well, he's a huge video game guy. And then I got another buddy who doesn't carry around a knife, but sometimes he will. But it's definitely like to overcompensate for something. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I know what you mean.
Like he'll like tuck his shirt into his pocket when he's got the knife, and he's like, "If you need a knife tonight, just let me know. I got mine." Like,
cool.
Dude, nobody cares. Like, no, it wasn't even a topic of conversation, and you brought it up.
Have you? This also got me thinking about those guys that have giant key rings. Like, I have a buddy who walks around and he's got a key ring, and it's got like 8 keys on it. It's got a bottle opener. He carries around a tape measure, and there's a multi-tool and a knife on it.
Is it connected to a chain to his waist?
I think may very well be. He always pulls it out. I'm like, what are you doing? How does that not destroy your posture? It's like George Costanza in the wallet.
Yeah.
Guys carrying around like 4 pounds of tools at all times.
I am all about minimizing all that stuff. Like my wallet is as thin as it can be. My keys are just the ones I need. In fact, if I could put all my keys and everything in my wallet on my phone and just carry my phone, I would be happy.
Dude, I did the front door lock that just reads your fingerprint.
How do you like it?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love it. I haven't had house keys in like a year and a bit now. The only key I have is for the car.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have car and mailbox, and that's it.
Yeah.
I think my keys, I've got the apartment key, the apartment mail key, my parents' house key, which, come to think of it, I don't need it because I can get in the garage.
Yeah.
And then I've got my sister's house key, and then I have a key to open up the damn garage, like the emergency key thing, because don't get me started on a damn garage, man. Half the time the garage door opener doesn't work. But yeah, I mean, it's like, what, like maybe a half-inch thick of keys? Like nothing. And then I have a car key.
Do you carry the spare keys on you all the time, or do you keep them at the house somewhere?
The spare car key?
No, for your sister and your folks and everything.
Oh, yeah. No, it's on my keychain all the time.
Okay. I don't even know where my keychain is.
Like, why not just keep it in a drawer somewhere?
Yeah, that's mine. Are just all the spare keys that I keep for everybody are at the house. I don't care.
Well, see, now sometimes I'll go over to my dad's and he'll be like, "Hey, can you get something out of the house?" Like he'll call me when he's, I don't know, at work or something like this happened recently. It's like, "Hey, can you get something from inside the house for me?" I was like, "No, I was at his house and I was messing around there, like doing something, but I was like, I can't get in your house because I don't carry around keys anymore." So it becomes dangerous. If you do that thing where you put like I have keys to his house, but they're in a drawer somewhere, and thus I never take them, even when I'm going over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the people that I do.
My buddy's houses, they have either like a code thingy or like the thumb. So I just go over to my buddy's house. I just like thumb in, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm here." He's like, "I'll be there in 5 minutes."
Yeah. Dude, the code is nice too, because if somebody arrives at your house before you, instead of just waiting on your front stoop, you let them in. Like, here's the code, or you can like remotely unlock it and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, don't wait outside where it's hot. Wait inside with a nice air conditioning. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
So as, glorified tech nerds, I've got to ask you guys this. What's the safety or security precautions of having an electronic Wi-Fi connected door lock?
I'd say it's about as safe as having a physical key lock. I mean, you can pick that. Just this, the skills that it would take to pick that lock, I would say, are on par with the skills it would take to break into. Probably easier.
I would say easier. Have you ever seen one of those lock picking guns? It's just like a little thing. You put it like rattles around. You put it into the barrel. It rattles around. You turn it at the same time. It'll defeat like 90% of locks in less than 10 seconds. Right. My front door has a piece of glass that's so thin it rattles around every time I close it. If somebody really wants to break it, if
somebody wants to break into your house, like you're not living in Fort Knox, like
exactly.
You can get in there, no problem.
I mean, speaking as somebody who's demolished quite a few houses, it is extremely easy to kick in a door.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you're wearing like a good pair of boots, you just drop a kick right where that lock cylinder is and you're in.
Right.
My dad hasn't locked his doors in over 10 years to his house.
Oh, you know what? So speaking of, I left the car unlocked last night, and then I was like, I left it unlocked. No big deal, because I don't keep anything in the car. Somebody rummaged through it. I was like, oh, that's weird. The center console, I keep some USB cords in the center console, and they were like out on the seat. I was like, oh, somebody must have rummaged through here.
I was.
Eric just quit the podcast. Nice of him to tell us.
He ghosted us.
I know. I wonder, what do you think? Dead battery?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Because he's on a laptop. He's a laptop boy.
Yeah. Y'all ain't got any weather up there, right? Oh, there he goes.
Oh, there he is. Oh, actually, Yeah, you're back. What happened?
I don't know. It just said StreamYard encountered an error.
Oh, interesting.
I was
Did
like,
you get
I hope it was just me.
Did you get some crazy thunderstorms today? I got some up here.
No, but it's like 90 something degrees out.
Yeah, it's hot and sweaty in the Northeast right now.
Does that affect your internet speed sometimes?
Not mine, but maybe Eric's.
I don't know. Anyway, we lost that train of thought. So
Yeah,
tell me
it's
about
gone.
this car update.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
first, rewind. This was
Rewind.
the Ford Lightning story from what, 2 years ago?
No, not my Ford Lightning story. I had an F-150 before, and it got rear-ended, and it got destroyed.
When did this happen?
Dude, really? Didn't we talk about this? I'm
beginning of May.
we talked about it. Yeah, it was like a while ago.
Was it while I was on the honeymoon?
No, it was right before you left.
No, it was like significant. It was like still cold out when it happened.
Oh.
Anyways, look, somebody smashed into the back of the truck while it was parked, and yeah. So for a long time, the insurance company kind of strung me along. They were like, "Oh, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it." Blah blah blah. Eventually, they were like, "The frame's twisted," which is annoying because the truck got hit, and let's say it was like early March. And I told them, I was like, I can tell by looking at the truck, the frame is twisted. And they're like, okay, well, we're still going to like repair it. Smash cut to like early May, late April or something like that. They phoned me up. They're like, bad news. The frame is twisted. I was like, I know. I told you. I told you that. They're like, double bad news though is Ford doesn't make the frame anymore. So because they couldn't get the parts, they just wrote it off.
Right.
Yeah. So I've been truckless for the last like 3 months now. Yeah.
Oh, so your rental probably only covers. I don't know how Canadian insurance is. In the U.S., you get like 30 days usually of rental.
Yeah, I had a truck for. Yeah, that's true. I did have a truck for like a portion of the time because it was a rental. But yeah, ever since they decided to write it off, I had to return the rental truck, and they just cut me a check for the value of my truck.
Right.
Yeah.
So
now we're a filthy one-car household, which is horrible.
So are you looking at something, or are you like, I don't even care? Like,
we're gonna. So far, I decided we're just gonna do one vehicle for the next little bit, and see how it goes. If we end up getting in a situation where we're like constantly fighting over it, then maybe we'll go get a second one. But honestly, when we had 2 cars, some of the time we'd both be working from home. I'd look at it in the driveway and I'd be like, this is dumb. Like, we don't really need to. Like, there was basically permanently one vehicle in the driveway at all times.
Right, especially because you've backed down the time that you're working with your dad. Like,
exactly. So now I'm home.
He could always pick you up. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, worst case scenario.
That's the thing. And, I have a truck that I can borrow at any time that's like a 10-minute drive away. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not like constantly picking up construction supplies every single day anymore. It's like,
exactly.
So come to think of it, let's just say you and Sophie, we're not predicting arguments, but for the sake of the conversation, you decide that you guys are going to get another car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just humor me on that. What do you think you guys would look at? Because she has a X3, X5.
Yeah, X3. So it's funny.
BMW X3. It's like a mid-size SUV.
Yeah, kind of actually more compact SUV, I would say. So it's funny.
Like a RAV4 Honda CR-V size.
Yeah, exactly. So it's funny. Yesterday, or no, the day before. Anyways, a couple days ago, we put a deposit on a newer version of the X3.
Okay.
So that will be. I mean, that's not really answering your question because I think you're trying to get at like what would the second vehicle be, but we probably are going to be buying a newer version of the same car because we like it so much. Yeah. So if we're going to only have one car, it should be a nice car.
Yeah. So, but humor me just for the sake of the conversation.
Yes.
Now, would you go after like a compact sedan? Would you go after an SUV? Would you get another truck? Would you get like a sports car? Like,
yeah. What so I have been thinking about this. I have been thinking about this. if I do find, obviously, truck is always kind of in my mind, especially, if we end up buying a house and I need to do renovations and stuff like that, I'd probably go get another truck. Right. I have been thinking about potentially buying a classic car and like something that I can like wrench on and work on a little bit.
Like a 04 Saturn Aura.
Yeah, exactly. A true classic. Nice.
Yeah.
What do you think about doing that?
Like a Mustang, a Corvette?
No. I think I'm such a weirdo. It had to be like a weird European car or something like that.
Peugeot.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like or like an old
Robin.
An old Volvo station wagon or something weird.
You don't get an Etzel.
Yeah, something weird and boxy. I don't know. And I actually
should get an old truck and just merge both your needs with your desire there.
I did think about that. I did think about getting like an F-150 from the 70s or 80s or something like that.
Get a Skoda.
But I've always had a motorcycle that I kept at my dad's.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
So I actually brought that back because now I have a space in the driveway. And my dad's doing some renovations on his backyard, or I don't know, landscaping in his backyard. So I took that back and I've been working on that for the past little bit. I'm like, maybe I'll get I don't know if I've been fixing it up. I don't know if I'll end up keeping that one. I might fix it up, get it running, sell that, and then use that to buy a project bike.
Ooh.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm in a weird vehicle flux right now. My attention's being pulled in a lot of different directions.
Now, how does Sophie feel about the motorcycle?
She's cool with it. With it. When we first started dating, I had a motorcycle, and she used to ride on the back of it. She was cool with it.
Okay, so that's one thing. Miranda. Yeah.
What's that?
Miranda is like, you will never get a motorcycle. I don't really have any interest in one, but she's like, you will never have a motorcycle. And I know some people are very opinionated.
My wife too.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I think if you have one, when you come into it, what can they say?
Yeah, your grandfathered into it, right?
That's why I never got rid of it. I think maybe if we had kids or something like that, she'd be like, okay, now you got to get rid of the bike. Maybe. She's not really that type. She doesn't really tell me what I can and can't do. It's not really in her nature.
Too passive.
Yeah.
I could see both of you guys in a relationship being very passive. No, it's fine. That's cool.
We're just like two millennials in a pod. We're like, oh, what do you want to do tonight? I don't know. What do you want to do tonight? It's horrible. I try and stamp it out when I notice it, but
I gotta ask you guys this, and this is how the show goes. It's always a tangent. So Miranda is just got a new job, and
nice.
So during that, that whole process or whatever, I was just Googling stuff, just helping her with things. And I came across this article that blew my mind.
Okay.
And I have to ask if you guys knew about this or have heard about this. It was something along the lines of 22 or 27% of millennials or Gen Zers or whatever the hell the young kids these days are. 22 or 27% of them are having their parents go to their job interviews with them.
No way. I refuse to believe that.
I saw somebody
Are you kidding?
I refuse to believe. No way.
They're going to the job interview, but they're not getting the job.
No, exactly. If I were the person doing that, and I'd be like, who's this? They'd be like, oh, this is my dad. This is my mom. I would have been like,
this is my mommy.
Yeah,
this is my assistant.
This is daddy and this is mommy.
If you're 22 and you're going to a job interview with your parents, it's not mom and dad. It's mommy and daddy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wouldn't you immediately end the interview? Be like, this is you. No, you didn't get the job.
We're not wasting our time today.
Yeah. I've heard of oddball horror stories of parents calling and being like, why didn't you give my son or my daughter this job?
I've heard of that too.
Yeah, but I've never heard of the parent actually being present at the interview. That sounds insane to me.
Absolutely. Bomb.
I don't know how you guys were raised, but my parents were very hands-off, kind of latchkey kid style.
Figure it out.
Yeah. So,
well, anyway.
That sounds insane to me.
changing. We're 37 minutes in. We should talk about something at least mildly related.
Okay.
I guess we did talk about the new knife from KM Tools.
Yeah, true. Okay, look, I designed something today that I am quite proud of. And
Tell me about it.
You are going to think it's ridiculous when you first see it, but then once I explain it, you are going to want one. Okay, ready? Okay.
But first off, show it to me with no
explanation.
No explanation. And I'll describe it to the listeners.
Okay.
Okay. So it is a pair of glasses, black frame.
It reminds me of those loafers that you put a penny in, but for glasses.
Correct.
Well, I didn't get there. Hold on, dude. It's too much. Hold on. So for everybody home, it's a basic pair of like black reading glasses, nothing crazy, but it appears that it has no lenses in it. Then on the above the bridge of the nose has about a dime, maybe a quarter sized, like magnet. That would be okay.
It's actually a loonie.
Which is loony.
It is money.
Yeah,
so
it is
it's
money.
like a quarter size. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it appears that Zach just magnetically attached what I'm assuming is some sort of webcam.
It's the Insta 360, isn't it?
It's the new Insta 360. So here you can see. Wait. Oh, come on, focus. Oh, I guess that's a little too close for the camera.
Okay.
So
is that the DJI thing?
It's a competitor DJI, but basically it's an action camera that mounts to the top of the frame of the glasses. It magnetically attaches, and now I have a really easy to use POV cam.
That's not bad. You 3D print them?
Yeah.
I 3D printed them, yeah, exactly. And then I just glued the Lumi onto the frame, and then the thing magnetically attaches. And you know what? I was looking at the footage today, and it actually looks quite good.
There was, whenever we were at Workbench Con, there was a couple guys that had those clipped onto their shirts as they were walking around.
So a long time ago, I bought a GoPro that I wanted, and I like clipped it to my hat. I've wanted to have a POV cam for a long time because I often feel like when you're trying to film something, your own perspective is often the most clear, right? Like, have you ever like done that thing where you set up a camera across the room and you're pointing down at the thing you're working on, and you review the footage and you're like, oh, my hand was blocking the action the entire time. Like the thing that I wanted to show with that clip was completely obscured by my body or my hand or something. But when you have the POV cam, you can see exactly what you see. So it makes it very easy to like show what you're doing.
I mean, it's becoming very popular in many circles. People want to pretend like they're really there in on the action.
yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you're just deep into the action, like, you know.
Deep in the action. Yeah. When your ball's deep in the action.
Yeah.
And look,
basically that's what you design this camera for, so you can make all of your amateur videos that you upload.
It even goes vertical for Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Now, what about stability?
Dude, it's all stabilized. It's the Insta 360 has like one of the best stabilizations on the market.
It does a thing where it crops in and then like helps like
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The DJI thing, whatever that you guys told me to buy a while ago. That thing's fantastic. Like, you can shake the daylights out of it, and it's so buttery smooth. It obviously crops in a pretty decent amount, but you're shooting in 4K, so if it crops in, 10%, you're still getting insane.
1080.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So, are you going to be using this for a bunch of like upcoming projects, just for an additional footage?
Totally, yeah. Whenever I need, you can never have too much footage, too many different angles. But anytime I'm working on something precise, like I was doing some soldering today, and soldering is one of those things where my hands often get in the way because it's so small. Yeah. I was like, why don't I whip up this little rig real quick, and then I can get some POV shots of me soldering.
My only Zach says you can never use too much footage, and there's an editor somewhere screaming.
Bryson is rolling over in his grave right now.
I do have to say, some like POV cams, it's like too wide, too removed.
Yeah.
That it's just like, okay, like I'm working something here on my hands that's 1.5, 2 feet away, but I'm like, I can't even see it in that camera. That's my
Yes.
only
Yeah.
complaint. But obviously, it totally depends on your settings and all that kind of stuff.
Totally. Yeah, this has a couple different field of views. Like it can narrow down a little bit. It's 4K too, so I can punch in on it. Yeah.
And
you
it
can
feels,
go-
I think that one is more designed for that POV shot too. Whereas
think
like
so,
the
yeah.
GoPros and stuff like that are designed for like really, really wide actiony shots.
Yeah.
And the GoPro is like compared to this thing is probably like a quarter of the size of a
Oh my
GoPro.
God, it's tiny.
So, yeah.
That's pretty nice. How much was that thing?
It's 400.
$399?
I just looked it up.
400?
Yeah, it's $399. Yeah.
And what is
US.
it called? An InShot?
It's called
Insta 360.
Go
Insta
3. 3S is this one, but they make a bunch of them that are all the same size, so you could get a smaller one for cheaper, I'm sure. Or
Older one.
older one, yes.
Interesting. I like that. That's clever. I haven't invented something in a while, but I did turn my 3D printer on today.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you use it for?
I just had some more of those
Paperweight.
little like labels that I
Oh, yeah. Actually, that reminds me.
printed off.
The good people at Creality contacted me, and they were like, "Hey, we got a new printer coming up." Should
I
follow
had
up on that."
Bamboo Labs reach out to me.
Oh yeah, nice.
Something about an A1,
A1?
A2, something or other.
I think
Yeah.
A1. Well, maybe the A2 is coming out, but
have
the
no
A1.
It didn't look
Pretty
like
sick.
anything I would ever use.
Yeah. You were like, no, I already have a Prusa. It's huge and it's sick.
Yeah, I
Beat
don't
it.
know. But that leads me to something that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I wanted to get your feedback on.
Okay.
So maybe we'll talk about. Well, I guess we should say tonight we're doing our BYOC call, which is where we're live
right,
hangout with our top tier patrons. And we should also say that in July, is it 26th of July? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I should actually look it up since we're reading it on air. Let me stand by, people. We are going to do a live 23rd of July,
okay.
Tuesday, July 23rd. Mark your calendars. We're making that BYOC live hangout call open to all patrons, not just the top tier patrons. So we're going to have a good time and open it up. But yes, July 23rd. But tonight's just for the top tier patrons, as it usually is. And so maybe we'll talk more about this. What do you say?
The coolest of the cool patrons. The top
Exactly. Maybe we'll talk about more on the call tonight. But for now, I'm not going to say the brand name.
Okay.
So a brand that I've worked with for a long period of time reached out to me today. And sometimes they're difficult to communicate with. And what I mean by that is they go periods of time without responding. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Like, yeah, we just got back to you. But it's like kind of habitual. Okay. They reached out to me, and I'm currently working on a paid campaign for them. And they reach out to me and say, hey, we have this new thing launching. And I know it's last minute. It launches next week.
Okay.
Would you be willing to make a reel talking about your experience with this new thing? Okay. In exchange for this new service, I should say, that they're doing.
Okay.
It's a service that if I were to pay for the service myself, it would be about $50. So it's
okay. Not the most enticing of offers.
And so my response was, hey, I've enjoyed working with you. I would be more than happy to do a complimentary reel if you can guarantee me that for the next campaign, the next paid campaign, you'll lock me in there. Okay, because sometimes they have a large roster of people that they work with, and you don't always get picked for every campaign.
Yeah.
So I usually would say I get picked for every 2 to 3 campaigns. So, 2 or 3 happen, then I get picked. 2 or 3 happen, then I get picked for one.
Gotcha.
And they replied back with, I totally understand what you're asking. I would love to be able to 100% guarantee that you're going to be chosen for the next campaign, but I can't guarantee that.
Okay, fair. I mean, from their perspective, maybe it's not their call to make or something like that.
Right. So, what are your thoughts? Do I do it just as a good, like, reply back, be like, hey, I totally understand that, I've enjoyed working with you. Out of good faith, I'm going to do this, but I would really, really appreciate it if you can highly consider me for the next paid campaign.
Yeah, I mean, has this been a brand that you've enjoyed working with in the past? Like, do you have a good relationship with them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. People get really like, oh, don't do anything for free, blah, 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 blah. But like, I don't know. I would maybe do it. Like, what about if you...
It's not going to be super duper high effort.
Yeah, what about if you like talk them down and be like, you know what, a reel is like a lot of work, and generally that's something I charge for. Why don't you set me up with an account for this service or whatever it is, and I'll do like a series of stories on my Instagram page talking about it or something like that.
Bad idea. So you agree that I probably should just end up doing it. It's not tons of effort. It's not going to be some super highly produced thing. Like, realistically, it's going to be me talking to the camera, and I can pull some B-roll footage from things I've already shot. And
I mean, I think the thing you have to ask yourself is, how much is this relationship worth to you? Is it worth putting in maybe 3-4 hours?
Dude, like 15-20 minutes.
Well, but there's more to it. Like, I'm sure it'd take 15-20 minutes to record it, but then you do layering some B-roll, you're editing, you're sending it off for
2 hours. 2 hours.
Yeah. So is it worth it is it nurturing that relationship worth 2 hours of your time?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, so then go for it. But it's a good question, because it does come up. Like, this has happened to me with brands. And depending on who the brand is, sometimes I just ignore those messages, and other times I'll do it. So it really depends on how much the brand's, I guess, being in their good graces is worth to you.
Has there been paid work between you two before?
Yeah.
No, okay.
And you'd expect there'd be more in the future?
I think we've done 3 or 4 paid things.
There you go. So
you're just fostering a relationship.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. It's not like it's the first one, right?
Yeah.
It's not like it was woodpeckers who strung me along for a year and then told me to basically pound sand.
Yeah, and if it's something you're genuinely interested in, and
it's something that I get tons of questions about. People go, how do you do this? Where do you get this? Where do you get this? Like, I think it would be great for a lot of people, because I guess I can tell you what the service is, and then people can probably read between the lines. It's a mail order blade sharpening service. Because a lot of folks, you get all these blades, and they're like, well, where do you get your stuff sharpened? I just throw them out because nobody locally will sharpen it for me. People don't know that this is really available. I think it'll be something kind of useful for people to know.
That's actually,
but I don't know what they charge for it, to be honest.
So you said that it's a subscription thing?
It's not a subscription thing.
It's like a one-time.
You just send your blades in.
Okay. So it's. I thought maybe it was some sort of thing where you pay $50 a month and it's like unlimited blade sharpening or something like that.
And I think, to your point, you're supplying value to your audience by explaining this process and how you do get your blade sharpened or could.
Yeah.
So, to give you an idea, it says, so here's how it works. This will probably be a dead giveaway of who it is, but you first choose the blade that you want them to sharpen.
Okay.
So a track saw blade is $40 to sharpen, inclusive of all shipping.
Okay.
Which is not bad. And then the more that you bundle, so if you do 3 blades together, you get $10 off. If you do 5 blades, you get $20 off. If you do if you do 8 blades, you get 10% off. So then
So wait, you do 8 blades and it costs you how much?
So if it was 8 times 40 is 8, what, $320?
Yeah.
I think you're losing money there.
Yeah, you're right. 8 times
Talking
40.
$4 a blade.
Yeah.
Versus
So
$10
Yeah. So so what they do is you basically, put the blade that you want in there. You get a prepaid shipping label.
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. What about your box? You're gonna have to have some sort of box. So you have to
put it in an envelope and it just cuts its way right out.
Yeah. Yeah, so they give you a label. You send it back. They do all the sharpening. They also say that they have 3 free tip replacements included. So if you have like 3 teeth that are just destroyed, most sharpening companies will charge you extra to replace or repair teeth. And then they send it back to you.
Now, see, when they send it back to you, you'll have a box for the next round.
Exactly. It says upon arrival, your blades will be sharpened and then dispatched within 48 hours. Okay. So
it's quick.
Because I'm one state over from where they do it. Again, that's dead giveaway of where they are. It says it'll take 2 days. So if I sent it out on a Monday, I should have my blades back Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
That's not bad.
How much is a new blade for the track saw, though?
Yeah, probably like $100.
Okay, so it's yeah.
I don't know.
I'm so bad with this stuff. So I hear $40. Like, okay, yeah, that's not so bad. I guess a little expensive, but then get the box, get the shipping. You gotta ship it out. I'm like, I'd rather just buy a new blade at that point.
I get that. But see, what I do is I bundle. Like when I go to get my blade sharpened locally, I wait till I have like 5 or 6 blades, and then I just like take them all over there, and they're like, "Oh, it's going to be like 2 weeks." I'm like, I don't care. Like, it's fine.
But I mean, I guess maybe part of what you're paying for here is how fast the turnaround is.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of places will charge based on how many teeth are on the blade as well.
Yeah, how the hell do they sharpen a saw blade? Do they go?
I'm assuming it's a machine, wouldn't you?
There must be there must be a machine. But then, like, if you're missing a tooth, do they weld it on? Is that done by hand? It's crazy.
Yeah. I think they create carbon on it and then they grind it down to the right shape.
Is that what they do?
I think so. Yeah, because it's the teeth are just like carbon, right? Like it's just hardened carbon, right?
Yeah, so is it
carbide
steel or something?
Yeah.
They somehow like weld it or fuse it or what, I don't know, cold solder it or something on there, but
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, come to think of it, like locally, I think if I get a track saw blade sharpened, it's like, I don't know, $25. So, but this is also me driving there. It takes them 2 weeks to do it. They're not shipping it. So, like, I really don't think that's terrible.
No, you're right.
But the only thing that's interesting is it's right now I'm only seeing that they have 3 options. Like, I can't just give them my, like, Diablo blade, or it doesn't seem like that's even an option.
Oh, so what, you have to send them their blades?
It looks like it.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't have to get more information, but yeah, I don't know.
Looks like they maybe got an app for tracking it too.
Probably. So what's the other one for? Like, I know Forest Woodworking blades. They have a sharpening service. So I'm gonna see what theirs. Yeah. I'm curious what they charge. Customer service.
Oh, that was my guess.
Let's see. Oh, Diablo 2 has a sharpening service too.
Through
Okay.
Home Depot.
Authorized service centers. Let me look up Ohio. Got
So,
Ohio on the
for
map. Which one's
Forest,
Ohio? That's Wisconsin. Damn it.
a ripping blade, which is what, like 24 teeth, is $30. A crosscut blade is $35, and you have to pay for shipping. So, I mean, that's not bad. And
Yeah.
for every tip that you need replaced, it's $9.
Ooh.
So if you ask me, their Forest is way more expensive than the first brand we're talking about.
Yeah.
So that's actually a pretty decent value. Like, that's not bad.
I'd be curious to hear if they do blades other than their own.
Yeah,
I
think that
factor.
Maybe I can ask her about that. I don't know.
I say,
I don't know how they're gonna. I guess that's the whole thing, is they're asking me now because they want me to basically send it off, get them back real quick, and then do the promo for them next week.
Yeah, true. See, that's what I'm saying. This is not just a 15-minute job. You got to pack up your blades. You got to send them out. You got to reinstall them.
Maybe I can be like, I'll tell you what, I'll do it, but can you send me?
Just send me brand new blades, and we'll pretend like they're
or send me a couple additional blades, just for good faith, so I have them.
Sweeten the pot.
True.
Yeah.
Something to hold on to while they're gone.
You know what? While you're at it, just send me a new table saw. It's fine. and a track saw too.
Yeah. I don't know. So it's but you agree that it is something that's probably a decent idea. Just go ahead and do it. You're massaging the relationship.
Yeah, you want to be a team player. Like, obviously you've gotten things from them in the past.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cook the bowls.
Yeah. It's like it's considerate, like it's not uncommon to like take a client out to dinner or something like that, right?
Or buying your mother-in-law a dinner, right? Or buying your mother-in-law a gift.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you gotta do it.
Jeez, I'm a bad son-in-law now that I think about it.
Well, not yet. You're getting close.
Sure.
Getting close. Did you guys set a date yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah. Isn't there like a romantic comedy called like 5-Year Engagement or something like that?
I think so.
That'll be you guys.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we've only been engaged for like 6 months, less than that. So
there's a certain point where you have to ask again. Like it expires, I think, after like 2 years.
Is there an expiration date?
Yeah, what is the expiration date?
I don't know. My oldest sister's been engaged for 5 or 6 years.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean,
patient woman.
Yeah.
She's the one that's just like, hold on. I think they want to wait till they get like their house situated or something like that. They're trying to like sell their house and fix it up. Long story short, they bought a house they shouldn't have, and it has just so beyond problems with it.
Oh, that sucks.
Right. So.
I was talking to a buddy of mine who I've known for some time, and he always referred to his wife as his wife. But I was hanging out with him recently, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we've been engaged for 11 years now." I was like, "Oh, but you can always call her your wife." So,
well, see, Eric, now you can refer to your wife as your ex-girlfriend.
Oh, I know. I still can. I did that when we were engaged too.
Yeah.
I only gotta do that party trick like maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that it wasn't well received. I just think people didn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get the reaction I was looking for.
But that's that's kind of nice sometimes when you drop a line like that at a party, and then everybody just looks around awkwardly, and you just stew in the awkwardness.
Yeah. Well, it was more kind of like, hey, I don't know, have I introduced you to my ex-girlfriend Miranda? And they're like, no, Miranda, I don't think we've met before. And then they just kind of continue on with the conversation, like.
Yeah, you have to enjoy that little micro moment for what it is. Be like, this is a weird social interaction that I'm having right now.
Oh, maybe when we start like going to open houses and looking for homes and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I can do that. Be like, hi, my name's Eric, and this is my ex-girlfriend Miranda, and they're like,
you could even say ex-fiance.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I could.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, you're buying a house with your ex? Like, yeah. I mean, we just figured,
Well, I mean, let's be real. You're going to be talking to realtors. They're not even going to be listening to a word you say. They're just going to be like, sign the paperwork, buy this place, get out of here.
Listening for dollar signs.
Yeah.
Do you ever? I asked this question, and I've only done it like once or twice. Do you ever go to the haircut place and just like make up a fucking ridiculous story? Like,
no.
Be like, so like,
I actually know my barber. I know my barber quite well.
Yeah, I've used the same one for years.
Yeah.
Okay.
But me and my friends, whenever we were in like high school and just out of high school, we would stand in line at like the movie theater for tickets or whatever we were standing in line for, with strangers in front of us and around us, and we would just start riffing the most ridiculous stories. Crazy story, so that the people around us could later on go home and be like, "You'll never believe what I just heard."
Oh yeah. This reminds me of one time I was with my friend and we went to the Apple store. He was getting his phone fixed, so he left his phone with the guy there, and I was like, "Dude, can I text your phone right now and just be like, I killed him? Will you now let my wife and kids go?" Or something crazy like that, just to screw with the Apple guy. He was like, "No, you can't do that."
Oh, that is too funny. But imagine like, Deric, you and your buddies are talking, and then like there's like a guy behind you just eavesdropping, and you're like, yeah. And then she was over, and you wouldn't believe what she did. She took her pants down and she pooped on the coffee table.
Yeah, exactly.
And just like ridiculous conversations like that, and and then when they go home, they're like, "Honey, I was in line at the movie theater, and this guy had a girl that took a dump on his coffee table." I can't make it up. It happened.
Yeah. It was just random shit like that. I can't remember what any of it was, but yeah, we would just make up some random stories.
It's part of it's the improv.
I'm sure we were like 19, 20. It was just the most ridiculous and basic thing, and I'm sure 90% of the people were just like, "These guys are full of it. This isn't. They're just talking. They don't mean any of this."
Never know.
But
Did I tell you
in our heads, it was a funny story.
I'll give it a shot. Did I tell you the prank that we're going to pull on my sister next year at Thanksgiving?
I don't think so.
No.
So my sister is extremely gullible. My middle sister. I got two older sisters. So my middle sister is extremely gullible. So I'm always the person, for whatever reason, that I have to get the turkey out of the turkey roaster and then carve the turkey and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you're the turkey boy.
Yeah, I don't know how I got that job. So what we're going to do is get one of those like real small like Cornish game hens.
Mm-hmm. And put it inside the turkey?
Yeah, we're going to put it inside the turkey.
Oh, man. I've never done that. It sounds so wrong, but so right at the same time.
Is that cannibalism?
Kind of. I mean, it's not cannibalism, but it must be cannibalism adjacent.
Yeah. Sounds like a turducken.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm going to take the turkey out of the roaster, and then I'm going to kind of like look at it, and I'm going to pause for a second and look like real kind of concerned. And I'm going to be like, "Hey, Mom," and everybody in my family's already in on it other than my middle sister. I'm like, "Hey, Mom, did you took like the, like the innards, like the stuff that comes inside the package of the turkey out, right?" Mom's going to go, "Yeah, why?" I'm going to go, "There's something in here." And Mom's like, "Oh, stop it. Stop. You're always trying to pull jokes. Cut it now." And be like, "No, Mom, seriously, there's something in here." She's going to go, "Well, what's in there?" And I go, "I don't know. Like, looks like a I don't know. It looks like a baby turkey or something. And mom's gonna go, Joe, who's my dad? Joe, did you get a pregnant turkey? And my sister, I guarantee, falls for it.
See, I thought you were going to tell me that what you were going to do is at the last minute pull the turkey and put the little pheasant in its place and make her believe that it shrank.
Oh, that's not bad too.
Oh, that's not a bad one either. Like,
yeah.
How long did you guys cook this for?
That's gonna be dry. That's gonna be dry.
Or do the reverse. Just put the little one in. Just tell her you're putting the little one and be like, no, it's okay. They get bigger. And then when she's not looking, just swap it out and then pull out the big one.
That's also funny. There's a lot of good turkey humor you could do.
Is the pregnant turkey more believable?
I mean, I like the pregnant turkey one because not only is it funny, but it's also delicious.
Yeah.
Right. That thing's going to be moist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So whenever you do Thanksgiving, do you do the stuffing in the bird or outside the bird?
Outside.
Outside, yeah.
Like what do you mean when it comes time to eat it? Like you put it.
No, like there's some people that cook it inside the bird, but like you're not supposed to now. They say yeah.
Oh really? You're not supposed to?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's you get like salmonella in there and everything. But there were people that would cook the stuffing in the bird.
That's a conspiracy.
That's that's part of the fun. It's the risk of maybe I get salmonella this time. It makes the meal more enjoyable.
I don't know what's more dangerous, cooking a turkey or eating sushi. I would argue that sushi is probably more dangerous than that.
Sushi makes up a big portion of my diet. I don't think I've ever gotten sick from eating sushi.
And if you have, you're not going to admit it because sushi's delicious.
Exactly. I'd be like, oh, it's the burrito I had for sure. Definitely the burrito.
It was the cereal.
Yeah.
I know that dry cereal that's brand new and I just opened up. That was what got me.
I got to protect my precious, precious sushi.
It was the bad water in the Toronto metropolitan area.
Yeah, it was.
Don't drink the water in Toronto.
Don't drink the water, don't fly Air Canada. Well, speaking of people who are drinking bad water, we want to thank our returning top-tier patrons. We've got Joe Welsh, Delaware Valley Workshop, Goblin Spanker, Dan Armendrez, Corey Duvall, Dadu, and Josh at Sawdust Builds. And those are some of the folks that we're going to be hanging out with tonight, chatting with live on the BYOC call. And as a reminder, next month, July 23rd, we're opening that up for all
everybody.
Patrons.
It's going to be chaos. So it's going to be so much fun.
It'll be a good time.
Patrons.
It's going to be everybody talking over one of it. Everybody screaming. Just complete madness.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
But you got to sign up. You got to sign up to join.
I think there's an error with Patreon right now because it says we didn't have any new patrons, but neither did the Green Series podcast, so that's good to hear. Available on all streaming platforms. Yeah, nobody signs up for their shitty podcast. But well, anyway, folks, there's no after show tonight because we were doing the BYOC call, but we will catch you next week, and we have already got 2 fun guests lined up.
Yeah.
For the next couple episodes or so. Yeah. Right?
It's going to be sweet.
Not next week, but the following week, I believe.
I believe so, yeah.
Cool. So stick around for that. Patrons will know who they are, but everybody else, we'll see you soon.
Be pleasant surprise. See you, everybody.
Yeah.
See you.